the Alexander Isak saga has just gotten better. There are leaks and talks about agreement and him only wanting Liverpool and him actually disappearing from Newcastle and going AWOL for them. But before we talk about it, before we talk about Fabrizio Romano Bomba, that he's retweeted that Liverpool have reached an agreement with Alexander Isak, make sure to hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel, guys, if you're new, and turn on the notification bell, of course, and let me know in the comment section what do you think about what I'm saying. It is reported that Liverpool have already agreed a contract with Alexander Isak until 2031. Of course, there are people that say that Liverpool do not have the right to talk to the player. Newcastle have not allowed them to talk to Alexander Isak yet, which is true as well. I'm not going to deny this, but we know that players talk, the players' agents talk to football clubs. And Alexander Isak has made his desire clear that he wants to join Liverpool. We can argue, is it right? Is it wrong that he's trying to join Liverpool, that he's forcing his way out? The reality is that Alexander Isak wants to win trophies now. He wants a club that is willing to compete for the league and the Champions League. Newcastle, yes, they play in the Champions League, but how far until they're actually real contenders for the Champions League? Probably like 5 years until they win the Champions League, maybe 3 years until they actually try to compete and win the Premier League. Yes, they won a Carabao Cup, but that is not enough. The guy is 25. He wants to compete for the league, he wants to win the league, he wants to compete for Ballon d'Or. He backs himself to be one of the best strikers in the world. If he isn't actually now one of the best strikers in the world, and Liverpool are the right environment for him, with the likes of Salah having 2 years left, he goes, plays with Wirtz, Salah, Van Dijk, McAllister, and he becomes one of the superstars at Liverpool, as it is reported as well that he's agreed personal terms and verbal agreement with Liverpool about this, and Fabrizio Romano have retweeted this. It is also said that he's gone AWOL from Newcastle United training ground and he's linked to Liverpool. He has actually informed Newcastle that he doesn't want to stay with them. A lot of people are faulting him. A lot of people are saying that is bad, that you're doing this for the club that brought you to the light and everything. But there are other news that are saying that Alexander Isak has informed Newcastle that this will be his last season, last year, and he wants to move to a bigger club. Yes, of course, that is not going to be public in the media, and he's not going to go out and say that I wanted to leave Newcastle while in the middle of the season they are challenging for the Champions League spots, which they got at the end, and they won the Carabao Cup. He won the club the first trophy in 60 years. He has done good enough job at Newcastle. What I want to ask you guys is that are Liverpool being unfair to Newcastle by trying to force the move as well and trying to attract Alexander Isak, or just Liverpool, like any big club, are trying to fish in the smaller club, which is Newcastle? They are trying to get their best player. And the guy's head is turned already. And nobody tells me that Newcastle must sell. They don't have to sell. It is very simple that his head is turned. And Newcastle are actually going to try to sign Xisco, as it is reported. Of course, Xisco prefers Manchester United. I don't know which club, which striker Newcastle will end up with. It is actually now, currently, we look at this and we see Mbuemo rejected Newcastle, Cunha rejected Newcastle, Delap rejected Newcastle, and now Xisco probably will reject them to go to Manchester United, as it's reported. His preference is to go to Man United, and Man United want him. Now, what is going to happen with the Isak? How much Liverpool will pay? Will Newcastle, the question that I keep asking myself is, how much will Newcastle demand? And how much power does Isak have to force Newcastle to sell below the market value that they put for Alexander Isak? They said they want 150 million at least for the striker. Liverpool are not willing to pay that much. Liverpool, it is reported that they are willing to start with 120 million, which is, I think, probably is low a little bit for the quality of that forward, putting in mind that 2 years ago, Declan Rice went to Arsenal for 100 million, Caicedo went to Chelsea for 100 million, and a striker now in the current market is a rarity. Like, you cannot find a lot of strikers. But maybe Liverpool will put a lot of incentives in there, a lot of add-ons, like how many goals he's going to score. I believe that he goes to Liverpool, at least score 25 goals, at least get 30 GA in his first season, especially playing with someone like Mohamed Salah, who's a goal scorer, can assist, Florian Wirtz as well. I don't know what is going to happen to Ikitiki now. I know Liverpool want competition and they're going to get competition. They might sell Darwin Núñez, of course. But I think if Isak goes to Liverpool, which is the question that I'm going to ask now, if Isak goes to Liverpool, does that make them heavily favorites? And what can City and Arsenal do to get better than them? Is it just now a matter of time and next season Liverpool will win the Premier League like comfortably, as a lot of people say that they're heavily favorites? I believe they're heavily favorites. But again, Arsenal and City don't play Liverpool every week. They can only play them twice in the season. So they can go and try to win their games. But watching Liverpool moving like this in the transfer market, there's a lot of rivals that are actually salty. They say that Liverpool spend a lot of money, but remember that Liverpool didn't spend any money last season. So basically, what they're doing is they are spending the money for this season and last season as well. So basically, if Liverpool spent 500 million, it equates to 250 million euros in each season, which is a normal window for a club, especially a club that won the league last season, made a lot of money, record-breaking revenues, and nobody wants to talk about that Liverpool have broken their record in the revenues, and they have gone to be the club number 1 in England in the revenue. There is the actual talk about Alexander Isak has been tripped to Sweden, and he has actually left Newcastle, and he's put his house for sale. Eddie Howe has spoken about him and said that he's still our player. I hope that he stays, but he's not confirmed that Isak is going to stay. Everything is pointing toward Isak leaving Newcastle to go to Liverpool as the striker. Is he going to be better than Erling Haaland? That is a question that people keep asking. Will he score more than Erling Haaland? Probably people say no. But I think he's going to contribute to the team more than what Erling Haaland contributes to City, because Alexander Isak, as I mentioned, is not only a goal scorer, he's an all-rounder. We saw him play on the left for Newcastle sometimes and still assist and be brilliant. And I think he suits Liverpool to the T there, because the exchange, Mohamed Salah exchange positions with the forward, as we see him do with Diego Jota, the late Diego Jota, may he rest in peace. And of course, Darwin Núñez sometimes. And that is why Isak suits that team to the T. He can play like close to Mohamed Salah. He can play in the box. He can go to the left. He's going to be the number 9, of course. But I genuinely believe that he's going to be a better Firmino, in my opinion, because Firmino was brilliant in the link-up play. He had Mane and Salah around him. But I believe Isak adds also the goal-scoring ability and the speed. He's so quick, as we have seen over the years he played for Newcastle. This saga is strange to me, that there is a player that is really have 3 years left at his contract. He's forcing the move out of the club that he kept saying, I like. But now there is a bigger club that is coming in that just won the league. They are probably going to be favorites to win the league again. And they might actually go and win the Champions League if they sign Isak. You let me know in the comment section. Hit that like button if you're still here. This is a Bomba from everyone around. Hit that like button, people, and subscribe to the channel. And I'll see you guys later.